Questions? Unless you have a big opening statement. Andrew.
Joel, how are you guys better right now than you were at this point a year ago going into the tournament?
Well, I think the different thing is that we had some momentum going in with winning the ACC tournament. You know, we didn't have that this year, but I still think that. I feel like we got the same team. I mean, we're returning a lot of people from the run that we had last year, and you know, only two pieces that are missing is Marcus and Bryce. But I still feel like we had the team to be able to get back to the point we were last year, and I feel like we probably aren't as good as we were right now last year with our defense, but I think we're getting there. It's just that we're still making little small mistakes that we're trying to get better at. But regardless, other than that, I just think that I feel like we're the same team, just different guys.
Is there a specific area where you're better, where you know that we are better doing at this than we were a year ago?
I think we're getting a little bit more production from the outside than we were last year. You know, we could really get the ball inside with having Bryce, because we threw it down there and he was giving us a lot of points, and then just because of that, they were having to double team him, and then Kennedy and Isaiah were getting theirs. But last year, we didn't shoot the ball as well from the 3-point line, but I think that's something that we're doing a pretty good job of this year. So it's more of a balance than it was last year, and I think that just the inside-out game is better than what it was last year too.
What's been the atmosphere the past couple of days after the way the ACC tournament ended?
Yeah, I just think a lot of guys are just more focused. The coaches are focused, and we realize that this point is where you lose when you go home. We don't get another chance like losing in the ACC tournament and having a chance to go to the NCAA. So I think yesterday we had a pretty good practice. We got after it a little bit, and then today we're just putting up some shots, and then tomorrow we're going to have another good practice. And just right now, we just got to clean up the mistakes that we're doing on the defensive end, and that's the biggest thing. We can outscore any team, but the goal is, can we stop someone else from scoring? So if we can, like I said, clean up those little mistakes going into our first game Friday, that'll help us out a lot.
How much has Coach Williams reminded you guys of the success of past UNC teams after they lost in the semifinals?
Oh yeah, he explained that to us after we lost against Duke, and then he explained it to us when we went to his house to watch the selection show. And even before that, he would always tell us about his past teams, and just to get us in the mindset of what it takes to be able to get to that point, like the 2005, 2009 team. And I don't mind hearing it because it motivates me and wants me to be the best that I can be, and for this team as well. So he's just been explaining that and just saying how he has teams that lost in the ACC tournament that have went all the way and won it. So that's what we want to do, and that's our ultimate goal.
When you went back and watched, I assume you watched some film of the Duke game. Obviously, your foul trouble made that a weird kind of game, not a normal game. But was there anything else you took away from that game that you were like, we can fix this, we can fix this, we need to fix this? What were your takeaways?
Definitely. It was just on the defensive end, we were making little mistakes. We gave them wide open threes, and then I think the biggest thing is that they got a couple of offensive rebounds and a couple of 50-50 balls that turned the game around. And when they got those loose balls, they ended up in threes. So threes add up, and that was the biggest thing there, was us not getting the box outs and finish off the defensive end. And I think that was the difference in the game.
Joel, over the last month defensively, would you say there's been a kind of a slow, gradual improvement, or has it just been up and down and consistent?
I think it's a gradual improvement. We have guys getting to the right spots. And then the biggest thing is you're going to make mistakes on the defensive end, but I think we've done a better job of covering up with our effort and just flying around the court. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that's what we have to realize. We're not going to always be in the right spots. We're not going to always, get the offense or defensive rebound. But if we can cover that up by just hustling and trying to do the best at it, I think that's one thing we have to realize. And then, but I think I've definitely seen an improvement in, I mean, yesterday in practice, we had a pretty good practice with the defense, and then, but just otherwise, I think that we've done a great job of trying to get better on the defensive end, but there's still some things that we can improve at.
Is it safe to say that you've, ever since the end of last season, you've been waiting to get back to this point?
Oh yeah, definitely. That was the biggest thing for me, is just being able to get back to this tournament and be able to make that run again, because I mean, I want to win it this time, but just the overall experience by itself is just so much fun, being able to go into each game and going into different places and competing and just building that bond with your team throughout this run. And that's the biggest thing that was for me last year, was just realizing how much fun we had doing it. And I'm just glad that we're back to this point, the #1 seed again, and this time we just gotta get there this time and actually win it. And so, but it's gonna take a lot of hard work, take a lot of dedication and focus, but I think this team has what it takes to do that.
What do you think will be different about your approach to everything this time around as compared to last year?
Right. I think it would be the same way. I mean, we got all the way to the last night, and that took a lot of focus, paying attention to detail, and just making good plays. And we did that all the way to the national championship game. And it was just that one play that we lost focus on, and that we weren't all the way in it, that made a difference. So I wouldn't say I would change anything that we did from last year. It's just that whenever we get to that point, if we get to that point again, just remember that we still gotta play till that clock hits 0. So.
I just meant you personally, but
Oh.
I mean, you might.
Just me personally, I would say I would do the same thing that I did last year. Just continue to help the team out in any way that I can. Knock down shots, play defense, make good plays, and I think that's what I did last year, and that's what I would want to do this year, and that's why I said I wouldn't do anything different. So.
Joel, obviously you guys are preparing for Texas Southern, and that's the focus of your attention. But like at the selection show or after that, you'd only be human to notice that you guys are on one side of the bracket and Duke was on the other. When you've had these 3 meetings this year that were so dramatic, does the possibility ever enter your mind of potentially playing them in the last game?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it, and I mean, I would love to get revenge on them again. But honestly, I mean, you never know. It's the NCAA tournament, and this is where guys, the lower teams come to play, because they're fighting for their season, and so are we. But this is just a time where anything can happen, and you never know what'll happen in the NCAA tournament. I mean, through the years of watching it, and just being a part of it as well, there's so many things that happen that you don't expect to happen, and that's just a part of the March Madness. And so I would love to get revenge on them, but I just feel like the way the tournament goes and just the history of it, I don't know if that possibility is there.
Joel, how do you go about keeping Justin's confidence up where it needs to be? Is that something you've tried to pay attention to also since coming back from Brooklyn?
Right. I think Justin his overall game and the way he approaches it this year is just totally different, and I don't think I need to try to keep his confidence up, because I mean, he's always confident, and he should be confident. I mean, he's had a great year. I mean, he won ACC Player of the Year, so I think the confidence is there. It's just that other teams realize he's a key part of our team, so they try to take the ball out of his hand. But I don't think we don't need to try to get his confidence up or keep his confidence there. I think he has that. It's just that just sometimes the ball doesn't go in for you, and there's nothing you can do about that. But you just got to continue to take the shots that you usually take. And I mean, in the Duke game, he had 2 wide open pull-ups that he usually makes, and that's why I said there's times when the ball goes in for you, and there's times that that it doesn't. But I think his confidence is still there, and I think he's going to have a great tournament. So.
What's the key for you avoiding the foul trouble type stuff that got you in trouble against Duke, do you think?
Yeah, I just gotta, just in the game, I just gotta make sure there are plays that I can be more aggressive on, and there's plays that I just need to, just let go and just, we can make up for it. And there was one time where I went for the ball when I was supposed to be getting back, but my nature is, if it's a ball like that, it's a 50-50 ball, and we always want to get that. So that was going through my mind, but at the same time, I realized that I did have 2 fouls, and I didn't want to get my 3rd one. But it was just, we're so used to, our coaches tell us all the time, 50-50 balls, we got to have it. And I wanted it, but at that time, I should have just gotten back and we could have made up for that play. And me and Coach talked about it. So I just think I got to realize in the flow of the game what plays to be more aggressive on and what plays to just sit back and just let it happen, because we can make up for it. So.
You said your outside game was better. How much does Luke have to do with that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't see it, but Luke, he kind of gives us hell in practice a lot of the times. I mean, he can shoot, and it's just different when you have a guy that can set a pick and can roll out on the 3-point line and knock down the 3. And especially when his pump fake gets a lot of people, and it's just because people respect him as a shooter. And so when he's knocking down shots, it's hard to guard him. But in the game, it gives us a different look, because big men are used to hedging the ball screen and just rolling back into the lane. But when you have somebody that can set a screen and roll out to the 3-point line and that can knock down the 3, that gives you a different look. And so I think that's the biggest thing that Luke gives us when he comes in the game, is just that different look of not rolling to the basket all the time and having to guard the perimeter.
Anybody else? All right. Thanks, Joe.